All right, welcome to the new episode of Turnbuckle Tapes. We got a special one today. We got big MF Matt Freeman from the 209 Kliq. I am your host, Liam. This is my tag team partner.
Kyle, what's going on?
Look at those muscles.
Oh,
No, I got the guns out. You know, even if Nancy Pelosi came out of retirement, she could not register these weapons. These weapons are unregistered.
Weapons of mass destruction.
I got warheads for foreheads.
Hell yeah. Well, welcome on the show, dude. We really appreciate you coming on. Definitely a big fan of your work, and TWF, we really enjoy going to the shows.
Yeah, man, we're doing some good shit, aren't we?
Yeah, you guys are. It's been a lot of fun. And the one thing that I kind of want to touch on is the mention in one of your other interviews is the more personal connection with the audience with indie wrestling as opposed to going to a WWE show, and how they're two different animals essentially.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not comparing us to them, but definitely you could be more in the match for sure. Like, you know, you could feel like, you know, I think you could feel like you're in there. There's more of a connection, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And over the years, I've gotten to know a lot of the fans, you know, on a more personal level that have been coming around for a while. It's kind of crazy, you know. You do this indie wrestling thing, and in the beginning, it feels like, you know, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm a 40-plus-year-old man doing this shit. It's fucking weird to most people, but and in the past, I wouldn't even tell people, you know, that I did this. I keep it to myself, you know. I want to be the fucking weirdo in the room, the fucking old man wearing spandex on the weekend and doing, you know, some make believe shit. But it's weird that, you know, the opinion of people has changed about pro wrestling. Now it's like, now instead of being like, you're the weird, everyone's like, oh man, that's so cool that you do that. They got like a million questions, and you know, the shows are full. You know, we're getting steady. You know, and things are going pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, the past couple of TWF shows that we've been to, they've been sold out and like standing, and like all the seats are sold out, and then there's so many people that there's people like standing.
Yeah, man. You know, it's funny too, because when I first started wrestling, I didn't know, dude. I didn't know all the politics and the fucking drama, and like, this company's no good and that guy's no good and this place is trash and that's backyard and those guys suck, and then so in the very, very beginning, I mean, things have changed a lot from when I first started. In the beginning, wherever you trained, you got booked at those shows that were associated with the place you trained at. That was it. There was nothing. You could not go beyond that. And if you got booked at TWF, typically everyone else were like, you guys suck. You guys are trash. You work for TWF, you know. And some of those same motherfuckers that were like, you guys are trash, now they're like messaging me, can you get me on the show, bro? You know, and it's like, and those messages they get left unread.
Oh yeah,
But
no, that's definitely a way to make a statement.
it's definitely it's changed, you know, and I feel like, you know, we've been putting out quality entertainment regardless of what some motherfuckers might say, and it shows the fact that every show is full. And my goal, you know, I've Big MF BMF Entertainment is teamed up with TWF, and my goal is by next year to have the size of the audience doubled.
That'd be cool. Oh, hold on a second.
If we can't double that, then what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, you guys got to be in a constant state of growth. If you're not growing, you're becoming stagnant, and things that become stagnant never do too well.
Yeah, no, I just, you know, if we can't make this thing bigger, then, you know, then fuck, man, that's just, I don't even want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't improve, get better, grow, get a bigger audience, get bigger payouts, get more people, get more, you know, just grow. You know, that should be the goal. So people become real stagnant and stay in their box, and I'm trying to get outside the box.
Yeah. Well, so talk a little bit about the formation of the 209 Kliq, because you guys are, I always like to joke around that the NWO is the prototype for the 209 Kliq.
Funny. Well, so, you know, wrestling is political, and for a
Hold
long
on a
time it
second.
was like,
Hold on.
that's my dog back there.
Yeah.
What are you doing to that dog, bro? I'm gonna call PETA.
Wouldn't you like to know?
You're starving that dog.
You want
Wait
attention,
a minute.
huh?
The dog's in heat.
Time to go outside, pupper dog. Rawr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. These are the things that happen when you're live. There's no safety net.
Anything could happen.
No, the show goes
Now,
on with
now that he's gone, who would win in a fight, you or him?
me.
Or you?
Yeah,
Who's banging
drag
more chicks? Who's banging more chicks, you or him?
me.
Kyle gets pussy thrown at him.
Yeah,
Pussy falling out the pockets.
it's true. I walk around with a mop.
You and me both, brother.
Yeah.
The
So,
209 Kliq is bringing back the rats. No, go ahead.
but yeah, go ahead and talk about the 209 Kliq and how it was formed.
Okay, yeah. So it was kind of like, and for the longest time, I think maybe you probably have heard some stories. A lot of people either love me or they hate me, and people would talk a lot of shit on Michael Shawn and myself and on CJ and they would say like Michael Shawn is a mark and then so we got together. We were like pretty much the three of us kind of got together and said like fuck you to everybody. And you want us to be fucking marks? We'll fucking steal every fucking gimmick out there. We'll be fucking marks and we'll be over as fuck and we'll do it with the fucking middle finger. And that's pretty much
That's what
kind of
you
how
guys
it
have been
happened.
doing.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a pretty real friendship. It's authentic, and it's getting funner and funner, and we're expanding. Like I'm working. It's funny. I was told by some people that you're never gonna get booked again. You're done. You're trash. You're this. But it's like next month, every week I'm booked, and every week I'm booked at a different company. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's like
Yeah.
I know I'm doing something right, regardless of what some people say. I know I'm doing something right, and if I'm pissing people off, then good. That means I'm doing what I should be doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
There's
And
I go on social media and I see you and Michael Shawn, like all these different promotions that you guys are bouncing around California. You guys are doing something right.
I mean, yeah, and I'm going to be going to Texas in October to work for Sean Hernandez. That's been, he's been a really, he's been a really good partner of mine. We kind of clicked, and he really that was the dude who kind of let me know I was on the right track because wrestling out here is so weird. Nobody that's been there longer than you wants to really put you over or give you any credit. They really want it's really a game of everyone wants to hold you down. I swear to God, I didn't realize that till 7 or 8 years into it. Like nobody wants to give anyone else credit that came in their own way, and I've kind of always did it my way. But the first person that was like, fuck, you're doing good, like you're doing the shit the right way was Sean Hernandez at Lucha Patron. And he was like, even so much that he wanted to work with us. Like he requested that he could work with us, and he's giving me a lot of advice about how this shit works and what I should or what I shouldn't be doing.
yeah.
And it's been a really good friendship, and it's been a really good connection.
Yeah,
That's
we were
awesome.
just
Yeah.
talking about Sean Hernandez on the last episode. I think he came up. He was in Lucha Underground too, right? As
He was in
well.
Lucha Underground, TNA. He did some time in
TNA,
he did
yeah,
some
too.
time in WWE. He was in Lucha. TNA he was with Homicide. They had that pretty famous tag team
Oh,
LAX.
Yeah.
AP. He's been all over AAA Mexico. He's pretty much been all over the world. And and soon, probably we might be seeing him. I don't even know if I should say this or not, but I'm gonna say it anyways. We might be seeing him in a particular Hall of Fame coming up.
oh.
So be on the lookout for that. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It could happen. Maybe it doesn't happen. I don't know, but I think it might. So I'm throwing that rumor out there.
And
You
then
heard it here.
he's come and trained at the Dragon's Den, right? Or
Yeah,
at
no,
least
he
done a
Big MF Entertainment signed him for TWF. He did Rio Mania
yeah.
against Drake Frost, and that was like that was a lot of fun. And then he did a seminar as well, and then he was here for a week training. with us and training and partying at the same time.
Hell yeah.
He's got the craziest diet and workout system I've ever seen. So every day he does this burpee workout where he goes for an hour, he sets the clock. Every minute he does 5 burpees and he rests, right? 1 minute, 5 burpees, rest, 5 minute rest, 5 minute rest. This is for an hour. But in between resting, he's drinking beers. like, and That's a shoot. That's his only workout. That's all he does besides some pro wrestling training. And for being, for being older than me, and really being all natural, which not a lot of guys are. That workout is working pretty good for him because he looks pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Those. So yeah, I know a lot of the wrestlers that come out of TWF are out of the 209's Dragons Den, which is you own the 209's.
Yeah, I own the Dragons Den. We got coaches. We got Mike Hayashi.
Yeah,
The
Hayashi.
Angry Dragon.
The Angry Dragon. And me and Mike, we actually go pretty far back. I bring in Vinny Massaro like once a week. He teaches a class. He teaches a class here, which I think is Vinny might be one of the best. Probably the best coach next to Mike Modest and maybe Ugly toss up to ever come out of this area. So it's very beneficial for anyone to get any training under Vinny. I started with Vinny. And sometimes I loved him, and sometimes I've hated him. But at the end of the day, I love Vinny. It's just that sometimes that trainer student relationship gets a little bumpy,
Yeah.
at times. But everything I learned all my basics from Vinny. All my basics I learned from Vinny, and these little tweaks. And I always kind of had the psychology pretty good, but I learned my basics from Vinny. And we got Michael Shawn teaching. Michael Shawn is underrated. He's been around the game for 20 years. He's trained under Scum. He's trained under Mustafa. He's trained under Vinny. He's been around the game.
Yeah.
He knows a lot, in spite of what some people might say. One particular person, he'll go unnamed, but we know who he is. Some little guy, this little balding dude that likes to wear a cap backwards all the time. Anyways, no, he's really good, and he's been around forever. And when people like Sean Hernandez and people like Lester, give you credit, I think it means more than some 125 pounds soaking wet douchebag who thinks he's a wrestler that's only a promoter says about you. So
Yeah. I think any sort of proof is, it you don't even need to say it. You don't even you let your shit talk for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much. He's helped me a lot too, tweak my game up, little tweaks here and there. And Mike Hayashi, he's got a nice style. It's like it's a really, he could pretty much do a little bit of everything.
He's
like
pretty versatile.
Shoot style. He could flip and flop. He could chain wrestle. He could do a lot. So having said that, it's really been challenging for him to be my friend. I think that I brought a lot of heat his way. Like, people are like, "How are you fucking friends with that guy, Matt Freeman? Fuck that guy." People, they either love me or they hate me. There's an element of people that hate me, but there's a lot of people that love me at the same time. But and he's always, we've always maintained a good friendship in spite of it all. But we had some heat in the beginning. Like, he got me into a place with I was with Stephen Bonner and Phil Baroni. And Phil Baroni's a fucking wild card. You really can't predict what he's gonna do. So to make a long story short, what was like a work kind of turned into a shoot. It really wasn't supposed to. And some feelings got hurt and some things were said, and it brought a lot of heat to Hayashi's way. So a long time ago, I knew he was a tough guy, and I had respect for him because we had a closed door little shoot match, and I can't say who won, but I think you guys could probably figure out who would win. But I will say I walked away respecting the guy.
Hell yeah. Kyle, you got anything?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Don't be shy, Kyle.
No, I'm never shy.
Jump right in there, Kyle.
He's not a shy man.
This guy's trying to take over the whole show. He's trying to box you out.
I know he's trying to take over the podcast. I just had some wanted to know like what's the training like that it takes to become a pro wrestler? Like what do you like when you're at the Dragon's Den? What goes on? Say
So it's okay. Yeah, that's a very good question because first of all, you're going to get a variety. You're going to get Sean Hernandez. That's going to come once every 3 or 4 months. And having said that, August 10th, he's going to be at TWF, and we're also going to be doing a seminar. This particular seminar is going to be about $70, but you're going to get one. You can come in every day for a week and train with Sean Hernandez for that price. He'll evaluate you, look at some of your videos, give you some tips, tell you what you need to do. But every 3 months you're going to get Sean Hernandez coming through every 3 to 4 months, and he's very honest. He's brutally honest, but he'll tell you what you need to hear. And like I've seen a lot of trainers be real assholes, to be honest with you. Like they could be really real motherfuckers. But he says this shit, and you can tell he's saying it with love. And you're gonna get Mike Hayashi, who is he's I think he's a hybrid teacher. He could teach a lot of different things from flipping, flopping, high spots, chaining. I would say he's got a ring of honor style. A real Ring of Honor style. And where you have like Hernandez and Michael Shawn got a real like maybe a TNA style of training you, and then Vinny could pretty much literally everything imaginable. So you're gonna get that, and then the other thing is you're gonna get a lot of psychology. I could from me and some of the other guys, but we also do a shooter class once a week at least, because I feel like if someone's gonna put this 209 banner on them, first of all, like if you're down with me, you're gonna have some enemies right off the bat, right? It's just the facts. And so like if you get out there, in the fucking ring, and this is my thing with all these students, like if someone tries to fucking stiff you, don't come back home if you don't stiff that motherfucker back. And I don't give a fuck who they are, how long they've been around. If somebody fucking stiffs you, you fucking stiff them back. And if they stiff you, you stiff them again. And if they shoot on you, you shoot on them. And so like I don't want nobody going out there with this logo, carrying this logo that can't shoot. So I want motherfuckers to know, don't try some crazy shit with these motherfuckers, because they'll fuck you up. Which anyone that comes to my class will a couple of months, they'll be fucking people up.
Fuck yeah. Yeah,
So,
that sounds.
I kind of want to pay the $70 and get some.
Yeah, and if he's there all week, dude, that's like $10 a day.
That's paying for
pretty
itself.
much. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's the deal we're gonna make. And Hernandez, like I said, he's probably. I don't think there's anyone else better coming through here. Not too many people that's been to that level of the game where he's been. And he's got a lot of good advice, and he's entertaining, and he's pretty fun to hang out with. And really, he's cool as fuck. He's got his own school right now in Texas. He's bringing us out there in October, and he's got a lot going on. And he's still taking the time to come out and do this shit. And it's honestly more to help us than anything.
Yeah, I get you guys' name out there.
I mean, it's helped a lot, and like it's opened up some doors, behind the scene, and no one's. People usually don't do that in wrestling. There's not a lot of guys trying to help. Like, I've helped a lot of guys get booked, bro. Like, a lot of fucking guys. I haven't had that many guys ever help me get booked, to be honest with you. The favors don't get returned that often.
Everybody's out for themselves, kind of.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience when I was booking shows for my band out east. Like we'd pretty much would be booking underground shows like on train tracks, and like hanging out with like the home bums and stuff underneath there, and pretty much everyone would want to be on those shows, but nobody was booking us, but we were bringing crowds and stuff. So it was just like, I don't know. I can see the whole people keeping other people down and in it for themselves, but it's like it like all tide, like high tides raise all ships, you know. So it's just like I like, to me, I think it's shooting yourself in the foot in the long run if you're keeping other people down. If it like, if anything, I think that stems from a place of jealousy.
It's weird. Dude, I'm telling you, this is a weird. This is a strange fucking animal out here in Northern California indie wrestling. I think the one example I could say is look at Super Beast. Look at that motherfucker. That motherfucker should have been the champion everywhere. He should have been the guy everyone was pushing, but he wasn't. Ask yourself, why wasn't he? Why did he decide to go somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? Like, that
Mm.
guy's the fucking ultimate warrior with a mask on his fucking face. You know, like, there's nobody like him that with his physique, with his build, with his athleticism, the way he can move. Like, that guy is over as fuck, but he never got the push he should have got out here. You know, and I think that just stems from, you know, a lot of motherfuckers out here didn't make it, and they're jealous of people that got some real talent. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing that I point to the most is that guy should have been the poster for almost every company he worked for.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that things like that happen.
I mean, he's doing
Yeah,
good, man. The guy's all over the world. He's going to Mexico. You know, he's doing his thing. I mean, you know, I would he comes out here once in a while. I would love to. I would love to get him out here more. That's one of my goals. You know, but I got some things lined up, and hopefully, you know, hopefully he's one of the guys that we could get out here.
That's pretty sick. Hell yeah. Um, so you mentioned earlier that like you're doing big MF entertainment. So like, what other endeavors are you doing with that?
I'm looking to do some like, you know, tough guy style fights, some tough man tournaments, some exhibitions. You know, right now exhibition matches, maybe jiu-jitsu, boxing. You know, more pro wrestling shit. You know, I might be working some shit out with CWA. You know, and be you know combined. You know, in conjunction. Right now, I'm working with TWF. You know, like I brought in Sean Hernandez. Some of these venues, like we have coming up, the Mystic Saloon. So
Mhm.
that's you know, I booked that venue. Like I brought that venue to TWF, and
Nice.
you know that's the thing, bro. Is like you know, some people are such fucking assholes. You know, like I get this venue, I get these guys booked, and they're kind of getting paid because of me, but not everyone realizes it. I'm not even going to mention any names, but there was a situation where someone was talking a lot of shit about me personally, and someone else kind of piped in, and they kind of take the credit for like, well, GWF is changing because of what I did and what someone else did. And I'm like, motherfucker, what about what I fucking did? I'm bringing these venues. I put in money. I'm selling tickets. I'm selling shirts, and I'm paying you, motherfucker. So why the fuck are you not throwing any credit my way? But
Mm,
but that's you know that's a show that I'm bringing to in conjunction. But it's one of my shows that I bring to TWF. Like it's my connection. I'm providing the payouts, and so you know it's kind of frustrating sometimes when you see when you see what you put in and what you get back.
yeah.
yeah, because that's something you're trying to do for the greater good, and everybody's just shitting on it. You're trying to
I mean,
make,
yeah, bro,
yeah,
and it's like some of these things are for the greater good. It's like all I fucking want, you know, is like, hey, when you post this shit, put Big enough entertainment. Is that too much to? And I have to fucking ask all. It's, I feel like an asshole. Say, hey, bro, can you take that down and put Big enough entertainment on it? Can you repost that? Like, I got to do it over and over and over, and it gets fucking annoying after a while. It's
Yeah.
like maybe next time when you fucking put this shit out there, I just choke you the fuck out so you get it right the next time.
That'll definitely motivate people to get their shit straight.
I mean,
it's a good.
bro, like I've been way too nice to a lot of people.
Nah, time to start cracking some skulls.
You know, it's funny, bro, because like you know, I have fighting, martial arts, boxing, jiu-jitsu, grappling. You know, I started at Ken Shamrock's Lions Den. You know, I've trained with Nick Diaz. I've been in the ring with Nick Diaz. You know, I've done a lot, and I've had some pro fights, from pro MMA fights, and exhibitions and shit like that. And so I'm talking to Sean Hernandez, and so you know, I'm from Stockton, so I throw a fucking Stockton slap, and like, and some guys, bro. Some guys are such pussies in wrestling. Like, oh my god, they're so scared of you touching their face. And it's like they'll do a 360 off the fucking top rope and risk breaking their neck, but God forbid you give them a little bit of a fucking slap. And
Oh,
so,
gee,
you
yeah.
know, and I was kind of like, I was talking to Hernandez. I'm like, what do you think, bro? Like, how can I modify this to where guys will be so scared of me? And he's like, bro, you're a fucking shooter. Just slap those motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Don't give them a fucking choice.
don't
And then
modify
I was
shit.
like, and then I was like, He's fucking right. Like, he's fucking right. What are they gonna fucking do?
Yeah, I mean, it's like at that point you're gonna have to
I
nut
mean,
up or shut up.
on the real, I know, like, it's kind of like I have this big ego, but in wrestling, if you don't brag about yourself, if you don't fucking toot your horn, no one else is gonna fucking do it,
Yeah,
And
who's
like,
gonna believe in you but you?
and it's like, fuck, dude, I'm not the baddest, but I'm for sure one of the baddest motherfuckers out here that's ever done this shit. And if some of these I'm not, I would like to see them show me otherwise.
So, so you do have a pretty extensive background in martial arts. Like, go into a little bit of like your beginnings with that and like how that all started.
It's funny. Well, actually, I was raised very strict. I was raised in like a Pentecostal charismatic type church that had a lot of rules, and we were very strict, and it was very sheltered. And I broke the rules a lot, snuck out, did a lot of shit I wasn't supposed to do, but there were a lot of rules we were supposed to live by.
Mhm.
And at one point, I was on to be like a charismatic type, probably a preacher, to be honest with you. I was on that road at one moment in my life. But so one of the first things I ever did that broke from that was I got into training. And at the time where I was from, it was like, you're not supposed to do anything that takes all your time away from the church, And something like
Mhm.
fighting, you can't do that because you're putting that above the Lord. But the moment, like, so I saw the first UFC. And I was like, fuck. This one guy, actually, I was working at Office Depot at the time, and there was a guy that worked in the computer section. He brought in a VHS tape, and we watched it in the break room. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta do this, right? I was like, oh my fucking god, and so he would order these fights, bring them in, we'd all watch them. And then I saw, Ken Shamrock, and then I saw that he had a school in Lodi. I'm like, no fucking way. And then I even to find out further, I had my uncle had a buddy named Frank Gallardo, who I knew was a martial artist. He was like a kung fu, like a Cheeto guy. But when he saw the first UFC, he was like, fuck, I need to learn how to do this ground fighting shit. And so he was going there. And that was like, the first person I ever like did some grappling with was Frank, and then
Mhm.
he told me where they were at, and then I started going to the Lions Den, and that was just like that just changed everything. Like it really, I don't even know, to be honest with you. That was like my real church. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know who I'd be right now, because like I was very scared of the world. I didn't have a lot of confidence, didn't have a lot of discipline, didn't have a lot of things in my direction. That place was rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, the place was
Yeah.
rough, and it was rugged, and a lot like the first day I came, there was like five. There would be a lot of new people that would come that wouldn't come back. There was five of us that came, and then I was the only one that came back the next day. And then at the time, Ken was in the WWE, and he wasn't there that often. So like Jerry Bolander and Frank Shamrock were kind of running it,
Oh
and
yeah.
like there was a time when like I didn't like Jerry that much. He was kind of a dick, But then as time went on, I realized he wasn't really a dick. He was trying to pull more out of me, and he was calling me out, like when I wasn't when I really wasn't, pushing myself like I should have. He was calling me out on it. So like I got a lot, from that place, and then they ended up closing down, and I got with this guy named Steve Heath, who who actually fought Chuck Liddell. And
Oh
so
shit.
a lot of people might not know Steve Heath is, but he's a Stockton legend. Like everybody from Nick and Nate, like, learn if there was no Steve Heath, there's no Nick Diaz. There's no Nate Diaz, there's no Stockton
Shit.
Slaps, there's no none of that shit. And
Yeah.
I started training with Steve. And then, I started seeing, like, he trained at the Lions Den, but he also trained under Cesar Gracie. And he had two different styles. And at the time, I thought, Lions Den, which are a good place to train, they were tough, but like there were some techniques they were kind of lacking on, and I got exposed to that. Like, like the Cesar Gracie shit was like chaining a lot more shit into their attempts. It was like armbar, triangle, omoplata, gogo plata. It was like a lot of chain. You get out of one thing, but you're in something else, and then so I left. I quit for a minute, and then Steve had his own school, and he got with Bob Shamrock, which was which was Frank, Frank and Ken Shamrock's dad, and he had a falling out with Frank, and he had a falling out with Ken, and then Ken and Frank had a falling out with each other too. So like, this whole family fell out, like a lot of families do. And so Ken had the Lions Den. They went up to San Diego, and honestly, since they all fell, like Frank did pretty good, but everyone else kind of fell, like the Lions Den wasn't the same after that for whatever reason. It was the top of the food chain, and it kind of fell off from that. I think, I think Frank, I don't know why, but that's just what happened. And Frank did okay on his own. But so anyways, then Bob Shamrock was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm gonna start my own fight team," and it was Team Shamrock 2000. And then so that's where I met Nick and Nick Diaz. And at the time, I thought I was pretty fucking badass, and I wasn't as good as I wasn't as good as I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought I was pretty tough. So I show up at Team Shamrock 2000, and I knew Steve when I trained with Steve, and I knew he could beat my ass, but I thought not very many other people could. And so he back then, in a grappling class, like today, everyone kind of pairs up and rolls, and you switch and everyone's rolling on the mat. But back then, Steve would call two guys to the mat, and everybody you start standing, and everybody would watch. So it was a little bit more nerve wracking, more closer to a real fighter competition. And so he calls me. I'm about 24, probably 23, 24, and then he calls Nick, who's like fucking 15, 16 years old. And my first thought was like, who the fuck is this fucking kid standing in front of me? Like, who the fuck is this? I'm a fucking man. This motherfucker is still in high school. This motherfucker barely lost his fucking virginity. Like, I'm gonna fuck this shit up, Like, this kid is fucking dead. And then so, with no respect, with no fear, I come right at him, I take him down. And before I fucking know it, my arm is getting straightened. And I'm going right into a fucking arm bar. And I'm like,
Oh
fuck.
shit!
I'm like, no, I can't. And everybody's watching. And I feel like I'm the baddest guy in the room. And my arm's now fully extended. And it starts fucking popping. And I know one more pop and it's broke. So I
Oh
tap.
fuck!
I tap like 30 seconds into it. 30 seconds in, I'm tapping out. Maybe less than 30 seconds, to be honest with you. And then,
Jeez.
I'm like, fuck. I suck. I'm horrible. I just got tapped out by a fucking kid. I suck. And I was so fucking defeated, and I was so fucking depressed that I quit training. And like, I didn't even pay attention to it. And then right about the time Chuck Liddell fought Vitor Belfort, and he went and he beat him in a decision, I was talking to Steve on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, man, that kid Nick, he's getting so good, he's fucking tapping me now." And then I
Oh
got on
shit.
my computer, I was looking at the forums, and I see he's winning the fucking Gracie Opens, and I'm like, fuck, man, maybe I don't suck so bad. Maybe he's just really fucking good. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
so I lost like a good year of solid training because like I let it get to me instead of instead of moving forward. But it just goes to show you that ego kills. And then I got back into it, and started training again. But yeah, man, like my first introduction to Nick Diaz nearly broke my arm.
That's a wild introduction to be.
Yeah, right. But I wasn't the only one, But I didn't realize that. I just thought, fuck, this fucking kid. I'm a fucking man, and he just nearly broke my arm and humiliated me.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you got back on the horse again.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, ups and downs. I've had I've had demons, addictions, and personal issues, and family problems, and shit like that. But I've pretty much been a lifelong martial artist.
That's pretty sick. What do you have next for like your martial art career, or at least like what do you want to do?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm 49, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, I did an exhibition boxing match, like a few months ago,
Mhm.
and really, I hadn't fought or done anything in a long time. I hadn't been really punched in the fight in a long time. And I kind of like, I went dark. A lot of shit happened. I lost my mom, like, a lot of family problems, a lot of struggles, a lot of demons. And I kind of went dark, and I kind of fell into some pretty heavy addictions, like pretty fucking deep. And so I crawled my way out of it, I crawled my way out, and I wanted to do this boxing, and I hadn't probably fought in 15 years, and I'm barely You know, I'm barely clean. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm barely clean with maybe a couple of hiccups. You know, maybe one hiccup in this training camp. You know, so I'm not fully clean, almost clean. And then and then and then so like I'm gassing and training, like, you know, it's a 3-round exhibition. But there's no such thing as a fucking exhibition. Once you get in the ring, it's fucking, you know, some of these things are called exhibitions to get away with throwing this shit because doesn't have a sanctioning body. You know, there's a lot of fight leagues that are popping up all over, and this is one of them. We had a little bit of a falling out, me and this league, but then so I'm training for this and I'm gassing in training. I'm not making 3 rounds without gassing consistently, and I'm nervous as fuck. You know, I'm thinking about pulling out, like, but I'm like, I can't fucking pull out. Like, I'll be a bitch. You know, like, I can't pull out now. Fuck, they put a flyer out, and I'm like, fuck, you're gonna get beat. You're gonna get beat down. I'm like, well, fuck, I just gotta take my beating. And then the fight was on a Sunday, and Friday was my last training session, and that was the first time I didn't gas. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Hey, there
My
you go.
first time I didn't gas. Friday before the fight was on Sunday, and I was like, okay, fuck, I could go. Now I could fucking go. Fuck, thank God, thank fucking God. And then so we had our fight, and the dude's tough. You know, he's one of those dudes where it's like, I couldn't dislike him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to, but he was a hella cool dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's like, so I really didn't dislike him, but it doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, we're gonna fucking fight. And
Yeah.
and so, you know, he hit me at first, and I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hit him, like, whoa, and I stopped for a second. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I kind of forgot what I was doing, and I kind of hadn't been hit like that in a fucking minute. Michael Sean was in my corner. Super Cuz was in my corner, and then this was my cousin. He's pretty much, you know, in the weed business, music, and is crazy guy. But Super Cuz screams, "Get your fucking hands up! Get your fucking hands up! That's basic fucking boxing! Get your fucking hands up!" And I was like, "Oh yeah!" So I get my hands up, you know, and then
Oh yeah.
I start getting into it. And then you know, we ended up, you know, having a good 3-round fight. I kind of feel like I won, but it went the other way. But it's all good, you know. Who cares at the end of the day? After that, you know, I went out. I feel like, man, I'm 49. We fought. I lost a close decision. I went out and I got drunk. And the next day, I went to work. So I feel like I won that fight.
There you go. Kyle, do you have anything?
Yeah. Of like all the trainers and stuff that you've had, like MMA, you know, indie wrestling stuff, like who were some of the most influential, and what is some of the advice that has stuck with you the most that you take going forward in your career?
Man, that's it's interesting. Well, I would say you know, Frank Shamrock, you know, was one of them. And one of his biggest thing was everything is in the mind. Like, tired in the mind. You believe in yourself. You know, you could always give more than what you think. You know, be positive. Um, um, uh, uh, Fucking Nick Diaz. You know, one of the things he said that stuck with me. He said the same thing to my cousin too. My cousin Tim, who's a 10th planet black belt, and he's a Sergio Silva black belt. You know, lifelong martial artist. He said the same thing to him on his first training lesson. You know, you see these guys and they're tatted up and they look crazy and they look tough and they kind of intimidate you. And he's like, don't let those fucking guys intimidate you, because that motherfucker right there, he's all roided up, he's big as fuck, he looks crazy. Guess what? He gets tired just like you do. Everybody gets tired.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to quit. Everyone's scared. Everyone gets tired. And then once I realized that, you know, what you're feeling, the fear that you have, they have, and they might even have more. And you might be tired; they're probably more tired. So, like, that was like, you know, I think gave me a lot of confidence. And then Vinny Massaro gave me some good advice one time. Like, good trainer, and he gave me some good advice as far as like, so like you fuck up something, you know, and nobody knows you fucked up. Nobody really knows. And if you
Yeah.
stop, you're like, oh my God, what do I do? You know? And like his best advice was this: wrestling fans are stupid. They don't fucking know anything. So don't give them anything. Like, treat them like they're stupid. Like, that's just an entertainment performance type, situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that was that was pretty solid. I've had a lot of good trainers, like in my life, like Toby Flores, and Felipe, the boxing coach, and Toby Flores was boxing in the '80s on ESPN. He's from Stockton. He's one of the guys too that helped develop Nick Diaz,
Oh shit.
top ranked boxer, and he was also training jujitsu back in the late '90s. Was one of the first guys ever that had a blue belt and was also a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and he was also a boxer, like a top ranked boxer. I've gotten really good training with him. I've gotten really good training with really a great place, to train is the Felipe's boxing gym. There's a lot, and it's like that really help. That place helps me a lot, really helped me a lot for this exhibition because those kids are fucking serious about fighting and they're fucking tough and they're out there winning fights and some of these guys are on Showtime and some of these guys are on bigger cards and some of these guys are fighting, and they're winning. And so I'm training with these kids and I was like, if you don't, I haven't been in lately. I've been so busy wrestling and shit, but I want to get back into it. But it gave me so much confidence to be in there sparring with these kids, and these kids that are fucking serious. They're serious, and we're going at it, and 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 to be honest with you, I was a little nervous. I'm 49 fucking years old, bro. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, I did this fight, and I was nervous. I wasn't even nervous about the training. I'm sparring. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, and these kids think I'm fucking crazy. I was scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was scared. I was fucking nervous. I didn't want to get hit. I didn't want to get punched. I didn't know if I was gonna be, what the fuck I was gonna do. And I was hella tired. And I thought that I was doing horrible. My coach was like, "I heard you were sparring the other day." I'm like, "Yeah, man, it was tough." And he's like, "Nah, man, you fucking held your own." Everyone was like, "Fuck, this guy controlled me." And sometimes you don't realize how good you're doing because you're feeling scared, you're feeling tired, but you're pushing through it. And you don't realize that you're actually doing good.
Yeah.
And it's these tough Mexican kids, man, like the toughest kids in the world are fucking Mexicans. Like there's kids 10, 11, 12 years old boxing like men, like the fucking balls and the machismo and they're all, they're all good dudes, like Mello and Felipe's stepson and the good fucking people, man, and that's a great place to train. And probably, I feel like in boxing, I know a lot more than what I ever have before, like angles and head position and movement, and I feel like it's because of these guys.
Where is
Oh, yeah.
that Felipe's gym?
Felipe's gym is on. Okay, so if you're in Stockton, if you go, where West Lane and Bianchi is.
West
Um,
Lane, yeah.
West Lane. So you drive and you see Clark Pest Control on West Lane in Bianchi. So it's behind that in a warehouse, and next door to it is like a warehouse grocery store. But
Oh,
like yeah, Felipe's gym. It's on Instagram. But like any fucking kid or anybody that's serious about boxing, that's a very there's other places too, but that's a very good fucking place to train.
I'd definitely take your word for it. Um,
No, it really for sure. You guys should go there. Like you guys should go and you guys should spar. Like,
let's go, Kyle. We'll settle it, Kyle. We'll see who can.
hey,
Y'all whoop your ass.
I got a ring with the
Oh, it's
Dragons,
gonna.
man.
We're gonna have to settle this fight.
We're gonna have a Stockton street fight.
Put you in a trash can.
Put you in a dragon sleeper, make you tap.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. I'm gonna flip it on you now.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, both of you guys obviously love indie wrestling enough to make a fucking podcast about it, right? So, like, that's some real love right there. It's like
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the things that Eddie Bravo, he's been on the Joe Rogan podcast a lot. He's one of Joe Rogan's
Yeah.
best friends. So I've had him on our show a lot on Inside BJJ. And one of the things that he said was like, "You guys love jujitsu enough to make a fucking podcast about it, so I value your fucking opinion." And so, how long have you guys been following indie wrestling?
So for me, I'll kind of give a little bit more backstory, because just for I guess a full picture. So
Sure.
basically, uh, honestly, TWF would be my first experience with an indie show. Like I've been to
Right.
other indie shows and like to the Modesto Plaza like a while ago. I don't know who that was, but yeah, since I've been going to TWF shows for about a year and a half now. I think I haven't been able to go to all of them because some of them are a
Sure.
little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would say I love wrestling as a whole, and recently coming back to it, especially with Kyle, we've been wanting to dive more into it because when we were younger, there weren't, there wasn't an accessibility to
Yeah.
wrestling like there is now. So
Sure.
that
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
Oh,
kind of the one
exactly.
of,
for sure.
and so that was kind of one of the things that we wanted to do with this podcast was come back to wrestling and then being able to watch all those matches that we missed and then find out about new promotions and find out about other wrestlers and just dive headfirst into it just because like we do love it. Like we literally talk about it all fucking day.
And I appreciate it. Like we need this. You know what I'm saying? We all need each other. Like we need podcasts. We need people talking about it. We need people
Yeah.
posting about it.
Yeah,
We need
definitely.
people taking pictures. Like you guys, like wrestlers need to help you guys, give you interviews, help push you. We all help each other. Like it's vital for our success for there to be a podcast like this that gets off the ground, that gets up and running, that people do actually fucking listen to.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the interviews and all that. So, okay, so you guys both, but about a year and a half, you've been coming to different shows. You go to a lot of the TWF shows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Who do you like watching? Like three people you like watching the most when you come to a show.
Like no shit, like you guys.
Yeah,
Like
just fucking throw it out there. Whoever it is. For
no,
any,
like literally, like I enjoy watching the
Mark.
209 Kliq.
sure.
I'll mark out. I don't give a fuck. No, because okay. So I'll be okay. So this was my experience coming in and
Sure.
seeing the 209 Kliq for the first time. You guys definitely have a presence when you come in, and there is a shitload of booze, and like I'm sure all those people that are booing are fans too, because like
In a way.
Jimmy, one of the guys that I've seen at the shows a bunch, like
Oh
he's
yeah, barbed wire bat dude.
yeah.
That guy's funny, bro.
Yeah, I love that dude.
He's been coming with his family for fucking ever.
Oh, I don't doubt it. He's been at every single one that I've been to, and like especially the couple that Kyle have been to. And like I started talking to him, and he's such a cool dude. Like he's he's there just to have fun, and
I love that guy. I mean, I can't say that too out loud, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm killing kayfabe right now.
Yeah,
but
yeah. For me, oh, go ahead. You were.
but yeah, like
his moment.
but yeah, like out of you guys, I like CJ. I think that his character is really entertaining. Like the suplex in Red Mexican, like just that tagline is fucking gold. And then on top of that, like coming out with the mullet, coming out, in like the American flag pants, like Sandman Rex Kwon Do pants, like
Yeah, man.
the
We
dude's
became
just
friends
got like a good character.
way in the beginning. We were training. We were at this one guy's training. Wrestling, so there's so many charlatans, and one guy, he's okay wrestler. He's an okay guy, but he probably should have been running wrestling schools. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't know that. Like,
Mhm.
because in wrestling, they ask you who'd you train under, and if you didn't train under somebody credible, they'll look at you like you're trash. And so like, and the guy was like a little bit full of shit. And so he's talking. Kids don't do drugs. Like a lot of people in wrestling do drugs. He's like kids, and he's like, don't smoke weed. I can't be around weed. It gives me a headache. And I'm like, fuck this guy at the moment. And he's like, one time,
Don't have fun.
and then he's like, I was smoking weed one time. Somebody laced it with acid. I'm like, dude, this guy's lying. You can't even lace. You can't lace weed with fucking acid. And I'm looking at these jabroni kids, and they're like listening to him like they believe what he's saying. And me and CJ are there, and I look at CJ. We're outside. I go, do you believe that shit? He starts laughing. He's like, no. And I'm like, okay, I know you're saying. And then we started like smoking weed. And then ever since then we became friends.
That's cool. And then so you guys were how did Michael Sean come into the picture with the 209 Kliq?
Okay, it was his idea originally, is this logo. And it's because everybody kind of called him a mark. We had been friends for a minute, kind of sticking together, and there was a moment where COVID and everyone kind of fell off, and some guys, one particular guy got one guy beat up his girlfriend. He got bounced. He was good as fuck. Really good wrestler. Fucked up, beat up his girlfriend, and kind of got what do you call canceled. And it's been a while now. Whatever. I shouldn't have did it, but it's a whole other story we want to get into. Then another guy. These are guys who were kind of pushing it for him, carrying the show. And one dude, got canceled because he pulled his dick out on somebody. It was like,
oh Jesus!
Did a Ric Flair?
No, fucking this guy, his name is Matt Fury. Good in the ring, bro. I wrestled that guy when I was new, and he made me look so fucking good. You'd body slam this motherfucker, and he would fly for you. Like, he made you look so good. He was a fucking, idiot savant that could only wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Like couldn't do anything else but he could wrestle. And then, I actually, he kind of got, he got fucking canceled, But I really want to interview. I want to get him. When I do my 209 Kliq casting, I want to interview him. I want to ask him what made you think? At what moment did you think I'm gonna pull my cock out? What moment did you think that this lady was doing this? Which this is crazy. He was getting a haircut, right? He has no hair, which I thought is very odd. So he's no hair, and then he's pulling his dick out and he's showing this lady while he's getting his hair done, his cock, where no one else can see, and he's like pointing it at her. And then and I'm like, at what point did you think she wants you? She's doing your hair, when she was getting out her scissors, where she got her little buzzer out and it started to buzz in your head and it vibrates you a little bit and you got a little turned on. And so the funny part about this, I find funny, is his girlfriend finds out and she hits him up. What the fuck are you doing? And he says, this is the story he told his girlfriend, that while she was cutting my hair, I was looking at my phone and I was looking at your pictures. I got so turned on, my dick fell out on my shorts.
It's got a mind of its own.
So anyways, there was no, everybody kind of fell off. And then, and I was, us three, I got the mantle of being the TWF champion, and we were training together, and we were friends, and we also helped start a Next Level with Justin Caton, and we were training together. And then Michael came up with the logo, and I guess he had my back, when people would talk shit, or I would get into it with somebody, he would always have my back, and then he knew too though that if he popped off, that he knew that one of his best friends was one of the tougher motherfuckers in the game, and it's there's not a lot of guys in this particular business, they're gonna kick my ass, and so that kind of gave him confidence that I had his back, and it kind of gave me confidence that someone he knows wrestling really, really fucking good. He's got a lot of good ideas. He's got he has a lot to offer, so I could bounce my ideas off of him, and we kind of work together that way. And so that's sort of how he came into it. He came up with the idea of the logo, and he wanted to rip off the NWO because they all called us marks, and so we'll be fucking marks, And then, but realistically, the guy that put the life in the 209 is me. You know what I'm saying? I am the 209. I was born and raised 209. I've been in every. True story. I could go anywhere, south, north, east, west. I get love everywhere. Fucking essays, Lokes, Crips, Sudanos, Norteños, all of them. So, I've been around, I've been in a lot of situations and I get a lot of love, and I'm, I'm made by Stockton. I'm 209 made. So I think that, I put the life into this fucking thing. And that's kind of how that started.
Hell yeah. That's definitely an enjoyable, like I said, I really enjoy you guys. You guys made an impression on me very quickly, when I first started coming to the TWF shows.
Yeah, Liam brought me to my first TWF shows, Winter
Which
Warfare.
Which show was that? Winter Warfare. Was it this? What year?
It was last year, right?
Yeah, I think. Hold on.
Last
I got the ticket right here.
It was Drake Frost.
February 17th.
Yeah.
I've done so many shows now.
That was at the Eagles Hall in Modesto.
Eagles Hall. I wondered, was I wrestling on that?
I think you were there, but I don't think you were on. I don't think you were on the card.
Yeah, it might have been during my struggle.
It was when Don Swolio turned on you guys for a minute.
That's right.
We did a tag team match there.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a funny story about that. So sometimes you live the gimmick. So in the end, me and CJ were supposed to be out there, but we hit the bar and got hella drunk and forgot to go out there.
That's
Oh my
great.
God.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like, so Kyle, like, who would you say like pops out of your head, like, indie wrestling you like a lot?
Just in indie wrestling,
Just in general, like, people that you like. Oh, I want, like, you want to see when you're there.
I really El Flaco Loco caught my eye.
You motherfucker, fuck that guy.
He caught my eye. Like, you guys, when you came out, like, I was booing you guys the first time, and then the next show I'm like, I fucking love these dudes. It's just like it caught on to me.
It's weird like that, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
but like,
yeah,
that's go ahead.
No, Flacco, yeah, fuck that guy. But go ahead, that's cool.
But it's like you were saying earlier, like way earlier, was like just the intimacy of the show, and like you just feel more. Like, I felt like you kind of feel part of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. I think in wrestling you want to be a part of. You want to feel like you're in the ring.
Yeah, like I felt like not ownership, but I felt like just part of.
You're the third. You're the third party.
You're the third party, and we're kind of doing this. We're experiencing this fucking moment together, sort of.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's my like I always view wrestling much like music or bands. Like it's same thing. Like you have like a composition, like with metal, like you have your breakdowns. Everyone's waiting for that breakdown moment, and then when it hits, like everyone fucking goes apeshit.
Bro, so you're so fucking right, bro. I had that same epiphany. So like like I said, I came up through church, and so that's why I could talk really good. I have no fear of public speaking because as a kid, I used to have to get up in front of congregations, and I used to give Bible teachings. They would ask me questions. I had to learn the doctrine and get brainwashed enough to where I could answer all these questions, and then so I got pretty charismatic at a young age where I could work a crowd. I get a crowd fucking going. And then, I've done a little bit of music. And even my regular job, what got me up was what brought me to a higher level was being able to talk in front of a group. And what I realized is all the same. You talk or you play or you wrestle to a particular moment, and then you hit that fucking moment. And the more you play up to that moment, when you hit it, the bigger it is.
Yeah, it's just like that one. It's like riffs in a song, or like I said, compositions, and everything's off emotion. Like I think a lot of wrestling fans forget that that's like the basis of wrestling is playing with the emotions. Like
a lot
you can
of
have
wrestlers
all these
forget that too, by the way.
And that's I noticed that.
You can see it sometimes. Yeah,
I will give piece of shit Flacco one compliment. He gets it. That's one guy that understands that more than anybody, because Flacco don't do shit, but he's over. That's all I'm gonna say.
But yeah, like it's like moves are dope, but make like I want to feel like I want just like certain chord progressions are going to inflict certain or invoke certain emotions. Like wrestling's going to invoke whatever you want to invoke. Like if you want to like betrayal or like hope or when you're at your lowest, and then that's where you're building up for a new run or whatever. Like it's all emotionally based. It's just physical with wrestling.
No, you're so fucking right, and getting people to invest their emotions in you, whether it be hatred or love, is what brings them back.
It's the same thing in my opinion, because it's like everyone's like, oh, the opposite of love is hate, and it's like, no, the opposite of love is apathy, because like if you don't hate, there like if you hate, you still have an emotion that's still
strong emotion.
So it's like I would much rather have as a wrestler, I would much rather be booed than like no reaction.
That's interesting because it's easier to get hate than love. And like, and that's just the truth in life in general. It's harder. Hatred is easier to get. Mm-hmm. But like, The worst thing you could do, the worst thing you could be is a face that can't get cheered. Like that's
Yeah.
the fucking
I was
worst.
gonna say, do you think it's probably easier to be a heel, right?
Um, it is, but it is and it isn't because it's easy to get hate, but really at the end of the day, your job as a heel is to get people over. Is to
Yeah,
get more love for the other guy. So if you're not getting more love for the other guy and you're only getting hate for yourself, then you're not that good.
So
yeah,
what do you find as a heel helps a heel push up a baby face?
By not having an ego, by not being afraid to look stupid, by not being afraid to get humiliated, by not being afraid of that shit, because at the end of the day, they hate you and they want to see you get your ass beat. And some people have giant fucking egos. I like getting in with those guys actually, and they, and they don't want to, they always think about themselves. But the only way this thing grows, the only way this grows, and we have good shows, and we get bigger crowds, and more people are interested, is if we all help get the other guy over. And
Yeah.
if you're, and that's how we get over. Someone has to help you. Like at the end of the day, someone has to help you get over. Like Sean Hernandez, he helped me get over. Like, and that was with the people in the business, not so much with fans. Even with fans too. Because with somebody that matters, it's like when Hulk Hogan pointed at somebody. Okay, that guy's cool. Hulk Hogan pointed at him. That guy was
Yeah.
getting over because Hulk Hogan shook his hand. And
oh
that's kind
Getting
of
the
yeah,
how it
rub.
works. And so get the rub, and so
yeah.
and he kind of gave me a rub. He wore my T-shirt when he wrestled, and he didn't have to fucking do that. He
That's
gained
dope.
nothing
Oh
by
yeah.
that shit, but he did it, But getting that's what he. I think he's a great example. A lot of these a lot of guys who have done something in the business, they come to the shows and they take a fuckload of money. They don't fucking draw anybody. Like when you come to a GWF show, you're probably not coming to see some fucking guy that's maybe he was in WWE at one time, but not anymore. And
Yeah.
he's old as fuck. Like you're probably coming to see the 209 and to see Flacco and to see Daniel Torch and Mike Hayashi. And so, but some of these guys, they get booked and they have these big names at one time. They've been to bigger shows, but at these other shows, they're not as important as they think. And so they
Yeah.
suck up a big part of the payouts, and they don't do nothing to help any of the other guys get over. And then so maybe they don't get brought back. But I think the thing that Sean figured out was he was so smart where he saw and thank God for it. He saw that we were really fucking over, and so he helped us get more over, so that we can help him on these smaller levels get more over. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, no, and that's a beautiful thing, I think, because like I said, if all rising tides raises all ships, and if you're too busy just thinking about yourself, like ultimately, again, you're just shooting yourself in the foot in the long run. But speaking of one of the wrestlers that you mentioned, so Daniel Torch.
Mr. Torch.
Yes, we have a friend that I don't even know how to present this.
Go
Cal,
ahead.
you
Fucking
want to
do
handle
it.
this one?
Yeah, he wants a match with Daniel Torch.
Yeah,
Who?
he wants to power bomb him through a table.
Who? Who wants Daniels? Who wants to
His,
match with him?
his I'll name him. His name is Mike Nordyke. Friend of mine, since he's the one that actually got me into wrestling, like back in like
Mike,
middle
like
school.
Nordyke, Nor
Yeah, Nordyke.
EYKE. Okay, so does he ever wrestled?
He did in high school. He did
Oh, so he
like
did.
amateur.
He did fake wrestling then.
Yeah, he did.
He's not a real wrestler like
Yeah,
me.
he did
Fuck that
amateur
fake shit.
wrestling.
Fuck
He's
that
done.
double leg shit, wearing earmuffs around your fucking ears, trying to protect your fucking ears from getting cauliflower.
Got he's
That fake
he's
stuff.
he's trained MMA. He's had a couple of matches, and then life got in the way, and he's
Sure.
working a new job and stuff. But he just
He doesn't like Torch.
he just doesn't like
I can
Torch.
see
And just,
why, but I can see why. So I'll tell you something about Torch. We butted heads a little bit, to be honest with you, outside a little bit. He's a strange motherfucker. He's really strange. Daniel Torch is fucking strange. He's not a bad dude though, but he's strange. He's really skinny, right? Skinny
Mhm.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Like he looks. And I'm gonna tell you something. He looks weak, but he's not. He's pretty fucking strong for a little motherfucker. One time I was just like, we were in the ring, and he said something I kind of didn't like, and I was just like not serious, but kind of like rough him up a little bit. I grabbed his head, and I could feel the strength in him. Like, fuck, this little motherfucker who looks like a fucking meth head, who fucking looked like he's a weak meth head, is fucking strong. And the other thing is, this is gonna surprise you. He doesn't even do meth. I mean, look at him. He doesn't do meth. He's actually what they call straight edge. Like, it's like I don't know why he looks so weak, but he's not. He's not weak. So I don't know. He's got this real sarcastic sort of personality that might rub someone the wrong way. So why does he not like Daniel Torch? Like, what is it about Torch he doesn't like?
He just said he's never cared for him. I mean, there's no. It's just like he's like, I don't have nothing against the guy. He's like, I just want to power bomb him. I
don't have nothing against the guy. I just want to power bomb him through the table.
That's his. That's his reason.
The other thing is like me and George never wrestled. I think it like whenever that happens, I think it'll probably be a pretty big. It'll be probably pretty big. Probably pretty fucking stiff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll light his little ass up, and I know I said he was strong, but he's not big MF strong.
He's not Matt Freeman.
He's not big MF strong. He ain't got the pythons. He don't take the medicine that I take to be as strong as I am. You know what I'm saying? He's straight edge. I'm not. Like, I'm fucking coming into the match off of a fucking bender, but I'm still moving forward, old as fuck, but strong as fuck, full of fucking weed, liquor, and fucking piss and fucking vinegar.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I would stiff him the fuck up. Like, your friend would want to watch that one. If that ever happens, it's going to be all bad for little Daniel.
No, man, I'm actually looking forward to that match now. Like, I'm hella.
I hope it happens.
Sometimes, sometimes it gets a little real out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be like you know what I'm saying? Like, it might, you're going to see some of that shit, It'll be stiff. But then again, like, that's just how I am. I don't think I've ever had a fucking pussy match.
Go out there and give it your all. Leave nothing on the table.
I don't know if you guys saw that, if you guys were at Real Mania, but holy shit, me and Tony Vargas.
I'm fucking pissed I missed that because so it was that night. It was actually raining pretty fucking gnarly, and it was just like, all right, like, it wasn't safe to drive out,
bro. We beat the fuck out of each other. Like, I've had real fights, and when I was done the next day, I felt like I had been in a real fight, or like a real MMA fight, I should say, or fucking worse. Like, we literally smashed the fuck out of each other.
That was the dog collar match with Tony Vargas, wasn't it?
You should look that. That's on YouTube. I'd highly suggest looking that one up. Big MF versus Tony Vargas. You probably find it on YouTube. That match was worth the fucking, price of admission. Like, we really smashed each other. Like you're not going to see any punches pulled in that. Like, and here's the funniest part. This is the funniest part. Well, the interesting part is, so the boys there's at the Colonial Theater in the back, there's two areas. There's a downstairs area and a top area. Everyone hangs out. The people on the top area started hearing boom, bam. They started hearing I'm not even fucking kidding. No bullshit. They were hearing the building shake and fucking rattle. And they're like, what the fuck is that? And then someone was like, is Tony Vargas a Big MF Wrestling? And they were like, oh, shit, that makes sense.
Jesus.
I've been saying for fucking ever, the money is the 209 Kliq and Bike Club. And people are finally starting to pick up on this shit. Like, me and Tony, it's fucking money. We're going to murder each other. 209 Bike Club, we're going to murder each other. You're going to get violence. You're going to get what you came to fucking see. I mean, if you came to see some guy dancing around the ring, flip and flop like a fucking idiot, or if you came to see two people smash the fuck out of each other, it's Bike Club and it's the 209 Kliq. And having said that, this Saturday in Avery, California, at the Mystic Saloon, and this is free of admission. You just got to go and get drunk. It's going to be in the main event for the tag team titles. The Bike Club versus 209 Kliq, me and Big Swole versus Devin Danger and Sean Sims. So if you're anywhere in that area, I would highly suggest or even making the trip. The Mystic Saloon is a fucking crazy ass killer fucking venue. It's the best place to have pro wrestling.
Yeah, I definitely want to go up to one of those shows one day. That's one of the ones that I haven't been to. Since I've been watching you guys, I've seen you've been up there a couple times, and that's one of the ones that I want to hit up.
We get me and Devin. Devin likes to make these little funny things on Instagram, but it's not gonna be funny when I fucking oil check your bitch ass.
Strong words from a strong man.
You know what I'm saying? They like to bite, but I like to oil check.
Make sure that muffler's in there.
Anyways, yeah, so that's going to be fun. I should those out there to plug my dates. Then the following weekend in Fresno, it's going to be the CWA. It's going to be the 209 Kliq versus these guys that call themselves the BLE.
Hastings.
Hastings, arrogant fat fuck, and then onesie Trip. Like these guys are trash. They don't belong in the same ring with the 209 Kliq. And the worst part about this is fucking this old, bald, ugly ass, like cunt face motherfucker Davey. It's gonna be some sort of a tag match with him involved. He's like a fucking guy that way past his prime, shouldn't be in the ring. Didn't even. I'm surprised he doesn't fucking like pull his groin stepping into the ring. Or going up the stairs. He's gonna be. He's more of an announcer, a talker. He's stick to talking. I don't like Hastings that much. I don't like Trip that much, and I can't fucking stand Davey. And here's the best part: it's Davey's birthday, and his mother's gonna be there. I don't know what the fuck these guys think. Like they're booking this match. Like if you think for one fucking second that I'm gonna be nice and play cool and put Davey over because his mom's there, you booked the wrong match with the wrong motherfucker. I'm gonna humiliate that guy right in front of his fucking mother.
Oh man!
And who knows? At the end of the night, his mom might want to take a trip to fucking Haley's Comet with the big MF.
Oh shit!
Comes around once a year.
It comes around once in a motherfucking lifetime, ladies. It ain't gonna come around twice. And then the week after that, we're gonna be going to Reno, working APW, some sort of I don't know. We'll be working somebody. Lester will be on the card. I've been enjoying the connection and working these matches with Lester. And then the following week, the week after that, which is going to be the last week of the month, Lucha Patron, myself, and Santino, another Santino or Assassino, I should say. Another version of the 209 Kliq is going to be going up against Tuco, Montez, and Arsenal for the Lucha Patron tag team titles. Which we never, should have lost in the first place. These guys could flip and they could flop, but I'm going to ground, I'm going to pound, and I'm going to smash until there's nothing left.
Fucking turn them into a jelly.
So that's what's going on.
Fuck yeah. Well, if you guys are able to, make sure that you attend those shows. Where is the CWA and the Lucha Patron going to be at?
Lucha's in Santa Rosa.
Okay.
I'm at the Veterans Hall. And then CWA is somewhere in Fresno. Fuck, I don't know where that's at. It's somewhere in Fresno, though. I'm sure you could, if you check out CWA's Instagram, you would find it. If you look at Jason Hastings' Instagram, or you would find the location. I don't remember the location. Is not really all that important. What really matters is I'm gonna leave Davey face down in a pool of fucking blood
in front of his mama.
Right in front of his. Listen. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put him in a fucking I'm gonna put him in a 209 clutch, and I'm gonna break his back, and I'm gonna humiliate, and I'm gonna humble him right in front of his mom.
Oh shit.
That's gonna be a great
happy motherfucking birthday.
An ass kicking with a bow on it.
A broken back and completely humbled.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
That should be a good one. So my question for you is name a couple of wrestlers that you want to shout out that are up and comers that you think that people
up and comers. Okay, so I'll give some credit out there. Paris Singh. Let's pull the curtain back a little bit. He's he's a military guy.
Oh shit.
Hardworking,
Oh,
hardworking Persian. His family came here, to make a better life, and he's a hard worker. He's a tough guy. He works, he busts his ass in the ring. Super, super talented, explosive, athletic, hard worker, tough guy. A commander in the military. We've had, he's tough, but let's just say we one time when I was training for my, I'm gonna throw this out there, and I was training for my fight, and I needed someone to spar with me. And he's one of like Mike Hayashi's favorites, because he's so talented. He wants to cultivate him, and he wants this kid not to get hurt, so he could be one of his proteges, right? And so I like, okay, we're gonna spar, right? He's like, yeah. And he starts saying, as towards the end of the night, I start noticing he starts saying, my shoulder hurts. My shoulder hurts. And then he's looking at Coach Hayashi, my shoulder hurts. And he's like, his shoulder really hurts. And I'm like, okay, shoulder hurts, and I see who teacher's fucking pet is. And then,
right.
and then, and then, I see after his shoulder hurts and he can't spar me, he does a 10-minute match. And I'm like, I thought your shoulder hurt. But you can do a 10-minute match. Motherfucker, get in the fucking ring. We're about to spar. So you can guys figure out how that one went. But Paris, he's got some shit coming up with Michael. She's gonna be wrestling Michael Shawn at the Mystic Saloon this weekend. That's gonna be he's up and coming.
Oh, yeah,
He's
that's
gonna get
right.
smashed. He's gonna get handled. He doesn't have the and he doesn't have the ring awareness yet to handle what the 209 Kliq brings to the table. There's another kid, he could really be fucking good if he got his, this is just the real shit I'm gonna throw out there. His name is Chris Dandy, wrestling name, Chris Lee Dandy or something like that. He was teaming with Giga. This fucking if he pulled his head out of his fucking ass, he would be fucking solid, but that remains to be seen if that's ever gonna happen. And then Giga, Giga, he's been around for about 3 years now, and I see a lot of improvement there. I see him getting, better and better. He's working, the Colonial August 10th, but I'll throw this out there too. The following week at the Colonial Theater, he's going to be working another match. Against, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember who the company is. I was gonna throw him a shout out, but like I forgot. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, Giga, and then you know, um, there's a lot of guys, that could be good. There's another guy that could be good. Tom Cruise, the Tom Cruise look
Oh,
like
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
that
That's
guy.
Wonder Kid.
Yeah, he could be good. He's another guy that kind of needs to pull his head out of his ass and get more serious about it. Like he could be really fucking good. Dude, you look like fucking Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Like,
Me and Liam
insane.
went on his
fucking, like,
Instagram and like it's uncanny. He does
it's
look
like
just
Insanely
like him.
uncanny.
he's the fucking best possible gimmick you could ever be fucking born with.
Right?
Forget about it. Like,
Yeah,
fuck.
it's like
Like, dude,
written in the stars for
you were
you.
born lucky.
Is his finisher called the Danger Zone? It should be.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think though, like I don't know, bro. I kind of think this is true. Like I heard a rumor that like he's really like an illegitimate son of Tom Cruise. Like his mother was one of the girls that hung around Tom and got pregnant. Like that, I think it's fucking true, to be honest with you.
I could see
Shit.
that.
Yeah,
I think that's
I would
legit.
not be surprised.
I think if he took a DNA test, that fucking test would be like that. You pull the test out and it would come out. Just take those old records off the shelf.
Slide across yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just a matter of some of these guys getting their head on right. That's one of them. There's a lot of guys out there, that could be good, but those are the guys that I fuck around with. That I think have potential. And that doesn't mean there's not other people. There's other guys. But to really fucking learn, the psychology, how to set things up, how to make things matter, is difficult more so than people get so caught up on what move they're doing and when they're gonna do it. And it's like, but it's really just it's building, it's telling a story, And that's the hard part. Actually, it's the easy part, but it's the hard part.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would think that getting in the ring and doing your moves and your spots and whatever, but like the psychology seems like that would take the longest and like would be the most kind of difficult to master.
Yeah, that it is actually like being able to talk and it's like I don't know, man. People hold. This is what I think it is. They hold back. They don't give all of themselves. They're holding some shit back. There's some fear. There's some but like with me, like I don't. Like I probably don't do the greatest every single fucking move. There's some moves I'm just not gonna fucking do. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna do a lot of shit. But like I don't hold anything back, and I believe every fucking thing I do.
Yeah, because I mean, that's kind of the beauty of wrestling is that line being blurred between character and
The line's
and who
blurred.
you
It's
are.
like I think I believe this shit. I believe I'm the baddest motherfucker in the room, and I believe I can line everyone up in that fucking room, every fan, every boy in the back, and I could probably choke every motherfucker out. And so I come in the ring with that fucking attitude. And
Yeah,
I actually believe it. So like, it was like Greg Valentine's dad, said that people think wrestling is fake, but motherfucker, I'm real. And so like, that's kind of like the same,
yeah,
the same attitude that I kind of carry, this chip on my. I have a Stockton chip on my fucking shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was born with it. It's like knock this chip off me and see what happens. Sort of. Tell me I'm not gonna make it. Tell me I'm. And that's kind of like why I've been through a lot of. I've been through a lot of shit, and I put a lot into this. I put a lot into this shit. Like more than what people even know I put into it. And like, the thing that keeps me going is two fucking things, man. Two things keep me going. And my personal life just had so much go wrong, like just family and shit. I'm helping out so many people, so much responsibility fell on my shoulders. But it's like two things, man. The people that believe in me that's why I get up and keep going. And the fucking people that don't, that's why I fucking get up and keep going.
fuck yeah. Let that work do the talking, and then they can just keep talking shit.
But yeah, there's a lot, there's always gonna be young people out there, coming up. There's more than that, but those are just the people on my end that I'm training with. Paris is all Paris. Credit where credit's due. He's a blue chip stud. He's fucking good. He's got. If he gets the psychology and all that shit down, and he learns all that, which I think he will. But he could really one of those guys that could get some real go far. Like I know Sean Hernandez was like literally invited him to come to Texas and spend some time out there with him at his
Oh
house.
shit.
That's
Really.
cool.
So that's you don't just say that to anybody.
Yeah.
So
So I guess my another question I have for you is what would be the best way to learn the ring psychology, or what's the best
that's
lesson for that?
okay. So I'm gonna say a couple of things. First of all, like at least you're performing, so you have to learn to perform, and you also have to learn wrestling. So what I think is a really good thing to do. I swear to God, is to go to karaoke night and sing in front of a crowd, and sing your songs, and like sing like you're fucking performing. Right, and try to even work the crowd up. Like if you can't sing, fucking rap a song or sing a song that doesn't require that much vocal skills
Hmm.
to sing. And I think that that's performing in front of a crowd. Get all the because you're gonna be nervous if you've never done it before. If you've never done
Yeah,
karaoke, you're gonna get a little nervous when you get out there. But like sing and put your all into it. Don't hold anything back. Try to entertain the crowd. Try to get the crowd worked up. And like that's like for entertainment. I think speaking in front of people will help you. Any kind of public speaking you could do, work in front of a crowd, and then watching it, listening to interview. There's so many fucking interviews out there where you can learn, like psychology. Watching those people, dissecting what it's the little things, it's like the little things. Selling is like how you sell things, how you like watch all that shit, and try to learn how to perform and learn how to wrestle.
hell yeah. Now I definitely do think that selling is a super important aspect of it, and that I think that's kind of something that a lot of people forget.
It's in everything. Like if you're a rapper, let's say you're an MC and you're on the mic, you're selling that I am this thing that I'm saying and I'm speaking like I fucking believe it. And if I don't, then it's gonna fall flat. But if I really fucking believe the words that are coming into the mic that go out into the audience and they believe it, then it's gonna get over. Wrestling's kind of similar.
I would agree with that. Like I said, just being in a band and being in a promotion or being a wrestler is, I would imagine, a very similar thing. You know, you're going out to venues trying to get shows, and then you get other bands, and then like the same thing. Like we didn't have we had a bunch of bands that we played with, but we weren't having all these bands hit us up. But we did have one band that we were hella tight with, and we would always be putting each other on shows and like helping each other out because we understand.
Speak of the devil, look who just stepped in.
Hey,
Like when we say like it's not just a gimmick, the shit is real. Look who just walked right into my fucking front door.
Fuck yeah, motherfucking main event.
The main event himself. What's up?
What's going on?
You guys really aren't worthy for this. You're really getting more than what you bargained for.
Well, we are definitely blessed today.
Look at that right there. You guys are winning me over right now.
Well, hell yeah. You've already won us over.
Yeah.
So.
Michael Shawn comes in right at the end. Like the main event.
Quick little cameo.
That's double payout now. That's double payout you owe us.
Double payola.
Hey.
Double up nothing is what? No, man, but you guys keep doing this, keep doing your thing, post your shit as much as you can. I would even I'd even take some of your shit and if you're really serious, just put a tiny bit of money into Facebook or Instagram, take a clip, because it's all about downloads. The more downloads you get, the bigger you get, and the podcast game is so fucking flooded right now.
Yeah.
The more it's hard to, when I with Inside BJJ, when we got 1 million downloads, we were getting 3,000, 10,000 hits of a podcast. It ain't like that now. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
So anything you could do, the more you could post like fucking crazy, and consider it don't even cost that much, man.
No.
40, 50, 60 bucks. Throw an Instagram ad out there, about the show, take a little clip, that's, sell some, go to all these wrestling venues, work your way in, get some t-shirts, get some podcast t-shirts, some shit like that.
No, and I've been messing with the Instagram paid ads and stuff, and they've been doing really well, and I've been kind of learning the science behind it. But that was one of the things that we've talked about doing, was getting t-shirts and stuff. And one of the ones that I want Kyle to have on the back of it is normally at the beginning of our shows we'll have we're from I can't even think of any, but
where wrestlers hail from, Ultimate Warrior was from Parts Unknown or whatever.
Parts Unknown, weighing in at 335 pounds.
Yeah, so
this guy gets all the pussy. This guy can kick Liam's ass. Kyle.
Oh, we're gonna have to settle this.
I don't know, man. He looks pretty confident.
I am very confident.
I also am confident. I am even more confident, I would say.
We can set up. We can figure out the rules. It could be a grappling match. It could be a boxing match. It could be something. Make it almost fair.
Almost.
Yeah, you got to make it fair for Liam.
We could do a student show at my place. Sell tickets, and the main event. The main event is you two guys in a grappling match.
Oh shit!
I'll do it if you'll be the ref.
Dude, I would probably. I'll be the ref. What you should do is maybe fucking I will train one of you guys, and maybe Tony Vargas trains the other.
Ooh.
Oh,
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? And then I corner one guy, Tony corners the other. And then we see who wins. Who's the better coach?
Shh.
Submission wrestling, who a tap out.
Fight Club versus 209 Kliq.
Hell yeah!
Oh, I love it.
I'm serious, man. We could do this. We could sell tickets to your family, to your friends. Get your coworkers coming. I'll get all my friends coming. We'll have beers. We'll have some music.
Sounds like a regular fucking Saturday night.
Maybe I can make Liam cry in front of his mom.
Oh, too bad my mama don't love me and isn't around.
I mean, yeah, man. I know this guy. I hate Flacco, but he has a friend named Danny who's in a really good punk band called the Moans. We could have them maybe like do some music at the Big
Hell
MF
yeah.
Ranch.
Big MF Ranch. Do you please tell me that you have like one of those ranch entrances that just says Big MF Ranch on
I
the
have
on
a
the
sign
front?
that says the Big MF Ranch actually
Fuck
established in
yes.
Dude,
2017. I do have that. It's
Oh,
outside. That's outside in the pool area.
hell yeah. I feel like that's a staple for any ranch house.
No, yeah, it's like maybe 3 or 4 acres. We got the wrestling school here, like a barn big enough for a ring and jujitsu mats, and I got a pool. I got a bar outside. I got a pool house. I got I'm fucking white trash rich living out here in fucking Lodi with all these,
Fuck
these
yeah.
neighbors. These neighbors fucking hate me. I got a wrestling ring on a trailer outside in my front yard. They always complain about.
How it's hell
there it is.
yeah.
That's tight.
Fuck yeah.
This is a sign. The neighbors hate me. It's like fucking they hate they were trying to force me to get rid of the wrestling ring, but they can't because I live out in the fucking county. And so in the beginning, there's nowhere to put it, so we had it kind of out on the street. And one of the neighbors was like being a little baby about it, and he got a cop to come out and give me a ticket. So I just moved it to the fucking front yard. You know what I'm saying? So like it's legal. I'm in the country. It's not the county. It's the county, not the city. There ain't shit you motherfuckers can do. I'm white trash, bitch.
Oh, that's fucking funny. So it is the Dragon's Den, that's on your property?
Yeah. The Dragon's Den's back here.
Dude, that's fucking tight.
I got 3 wrestling rings here, basically, but one's in the garage. One's is on a trailer ready to go for the show, so we have to like break it down and set it back up. We're gonna bring Michael's ring here pretty soon. So we'll have a big ass ring outside for the more advanced students to train on, and then my ring's like a low boy that fits into smaller venues like bars and shit like that. And then that's where the beginners will train.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna run that pretty soon, and maybe when it cools off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's like
dude,
fuck right now.
Dude, it was like I got in my car like after I got off work, and it was like 114 degrees in my fucking car, like just absolutely absurd.
So, guys, let me ask you guys one question.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about? Do you think it's a necessity? You have to have it. What do you think on any level? What do you think about women's wrestling?
I actually like it. I do think that it's kind of the same thing that you were saying, is that women don't really give it their all. Like
I didn't say that.
Well, and I'm not okay, and like I'm not. I will say that
the Big MF did not say women don't give it their all. Women do not give it their all in wrestling.
No, I will. Okay, well, I know this sounds like pretty fucked, but I will say that I'm glad that it's away from like the bra and panty matches that were happening during the Attitude Era.
I love bras and panties.
Yeah,
I liked it. I like it too. Don't get me wrong. I think that it's now in an age where it's everybody's doing it. Women and men are doing the same things, equal but different, I think. But I see that there are I think, oh my God, I'm totally getting caught up here. For example, for a clothesline, you can kind of tell that there's like a trotting as opposed to where a dude's doing a clothesline. He's going full into it.
But for fairness, there's some guys that do fucking shitty clotheslines too. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
But it's like, watch fucking Brittany Wonder throw a clothesline. She's gonna knock somebody's head off,
Christina.
Wait, who were you saying?
I said, watch Brittany Wonder throw a fucking clothesline, and you're gonna see a real motherfucking clothesline being thrown at somebody.
Okay. Hell yeah. Who's she normally wrestle with?
She's all Hood Slam. She wrestles for TWF. She wrestles for Ugly Dojo. Like, I think Christina Von Eerie, that's probably the best. I think no offense to anybody, but like Christina Von Eerie, like that's if I'm at a show and she's wrestling,
she's tough, dude.
Yeah, right. Like I'm probably gonna, if I'm not out there, I'm probably gonna stop and kind of watch. And like I don't usually. I don't watch a lot of shit, dude. If I'm not wrestling, I'm thinking about my match. And after my match is over, I'm fucking getting drunk most of the time.
Right.
I don't watch that many matches, but I love the fucking, like the whole patriot saint of filth and like the attitude and the psychology. Like that's one person that I have a tendency to watch. I'll stop and watch if she's wrestling.
Yeah, I like Christina Von Eerie.
Yeah, she's great. She's all over the place too, like different promotions and stuff.
Yeah, she's been all over the world, So
Yeah.
like, we're lucky to have her out here.
But wasn't she? I'm trying to think of the championship that she held. It was like, wasn't it like some faction of like TNA or like one of the TNA?
Yeah, she was on TNA. She's been in Mexico, Global Force.
Global Force. That was the one I was thinking of.
Global Force.
But yeah, no, that's cool. But yeah, like I'm sure my statement seemed completely chauvinistic. But
the views expressed by Liam McGran are not the views expressed by Dave Best.
They are mine and mine alone.
Somebody else is going to get more heat than me for saying some dumb shit.
Oh, I say dumb shit, and usually I don't have a camera or microphone in front of me to record me. So
yeah, right.
I love women's wrestling. Like
smart move, Kyle.
Especially, especially just the, like Liam said, the bra and panties match. Like it's a cool gimmick or whatever, but I'm a big fan of like technical wrestling. Like you just wrestling in general. Like if you can perform at that, level and put on a good show, I'm going to watch it. It doesn't matter if it's whoever versus whoever.
Yeah.
I just like, what's her name? Shayna Baszler. I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah, Shayna, sure. Yeah, I know. I mean, she's like a shooter. She was one of the first women fighting, period. Before there was women's fighting, she was fighting. She was a pioneer. She was before Ronda, kind of helped pave the way for a lot of other women.
Yeah, I think honestly, Shayna should be in Ronda's position. Like, Ronda's good, but yeah, Shayna's amazing to watch.
But Ronda's a star, Shayna.
But Ronda was a fucking megastar, in the UFC.
She was.
And Shayna, though I love Shayna, she was not a megastar. You know what I'm saying, bro?
No.
She didn't transcend. She wasn't on the Expandables. She wasn't like that. But I like Ronda. I know a lot of people don't. And lately honestly, she's made some really ridiculous comments lately that she sounds really bitter about shit. But
yeah.
But I loved watching her fight. I loved her attitude. I liked watching her wrestle. Like I'm a big Ronda fan.
Yeah, I caught her on. There's that show called like Hot Ones or something where he interviews them where they're eating like the chicken wings real hot, like hot sauce.
Yeah.
And she was on there and like just as a person, like she's real funny. Like I could see why she's so likable.
No, she's very competitive, so she could really come across she's not. I think she's really competitive, and she's not a very good loser. Very well, so I think that's where the hate for her comes.
I think a lot of people misconstrue that for like being assholeness, especially in like competitive aspects. Like you're just striving for the top, I love it goes back to buying your own shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
awkward silence.
Apparently, with this new program, it'll cut it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
it has like an AI program that cuts out all like the or like the little dead space, dead air.
Like this show comes out and it's like you got Liam saying, "I'm a big fan of women's wrestling. I think women are better than the men. I love it when I watch them throw clotheslines."
I'm just gonna like record myself, just like do a re-record and just put it into the video.
It's gonna be like you're just gonna have me. Oh, I don't like women's wrestling. I can't stand them clotheslines.
That wasn't me that said that.
Yeah, he's gonna swap the faces with like AI or something.
We're doing deep fakes here on Turnbuckle tapes.
Freeman says he's always behind women's wrestling.
Right? Like who? Let me ask you. I know we've been on it for a minute, but who's gonna win, Trump or Biden?
I'm hoping Trump.
Same.
You're hoping Trump.
I hope Trump wins. Biden sucks at golf.
Man. I don't know who I hope, but after that last debate, it's like, fuck, bro.
Yeah, I think ultimately America loses.
The president is senile, and it just goes to show you that the president doesn't really run the show. He just does what he's told.
100%.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit political here. I don't mind that. outside of wrestling, I'm very pretty
Don't say
vocal
it.
person. Well, I'm gonna tread
You're
lightly
never
here,
gonna get
but
another interview again. Like, gonna get canceled in Northern
well, no,
California wrestling.
but I'm interested to see what happens this election cycle because, again, it much like in a storyline, we are building up to somewhere, waiting for it
No,
to fucking pop.
it's a storyline.
Oh, that's a
I
good
don't know,
analogy.
man. It's fucking crazy. Like I'm a little nervous about just the future in general. No,
Yeah,
regardless of who wins the election.
Yeah, it's like a. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes,
It's
yes.
like we're slowly getting there.
yeah.
Like
It's like
just
yeah,
Go
I know.
am
Well, yeah,
Beaton.
soft generations of softness and softness and softness and get soft. The like the World War II generation, like my grandparents, they were all badass
same,
motherfuckers. Like
Yeah,
my grandfather who's passed away was in World War II, and it's like he
same.
makes me look like a bitch. Like he woke up at 4 o'clock every day, went to work every day, sick, fucking the flu, fucking no matter what he was working, like knew how to fucking catch animals, kill them, skin them, and eat them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
live
Yeah,
and
off
they're
the fucking
tougher than
land.
us. And then every year after that, they made a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And now these fucking kids get these participation trophies. Everybody's soft, can't offend anybody. So these kids are weak.
Yeah, well, there's a saying: good times, or excuse me, strong men create good times create weak men create hard times create strong men.
It's
It's
so
a cyclical thing.
it's unfortunately true. The,
Yeah,
that it's like if Biden wins, right? So we have a senile president, which is he's doing what he's told. He might die before the election is over, right? Before his term is over. Kamala's the president. I don't think she's
I
no.
think they're already doing a weekend at Bernie's with them.
And they know he can't step down because there's no fucking way Kamal's beating Trump. Like Biden's their best shot, even though he's half fucking senile. But if Trump wins, it's a little scary too because like he's the guy that says I have the biggest fucking dick and I'm not gonna back down. And so you have like Russia and Ukraine, and you have Israel, and you have the Palestinians, and you have Korea, and you have China, and like I can see shit popping the fuck off.
Yeah, because it's like no matter like it's there's a point of no return with everything,
Yeah, I know.
and I feel like we're getting ready to cross that line if we already
just
haven't
like
towed over it.
yeah,
It like takes some real fucking wisdom, like when JFK was president, and you had the Cuban Missile Crisis, and Russia was ready to jump in, and shit was ready, and it was close to to fucking war, and I was a big fan of JFK, and I read a lot of his books, and he actually went to war. And nobody goes to war. No presidents go to war anymore. But back then,
No,
a lot of the presidents served, and he actually even was on a fucking ship that got fucking sunk, and he swam, and he was helping pull some shit people were holding on to, and he swam some motherfuckers all the way to fucking safety. So like this motherfucker had seen some crazy shit and seen people die, and had to go tell people like I was with your fucking son or whatever, and this is how he
yeah,
died, and so he's talking about how like some people it's like it's just a number, but to real people, it's a real person, and all these things like we're pondering in his fucking brain during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Because going head to head against Cuba, remember we're going head to head against Russia, and Russia had their missiles pointed right at us. We had our missiles pointed right at them, and
yeah,
through wisdom, he wasn't a little bitch, he still, but he used wisdom, and we were able to avoid it. So I think right now in the world we need some motherfuckers with some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of
yeah.
wisdom would go a long way right now.
No, I
yeah.
definitely would agree with that.
I think like I know we're a little bit younger, but me and Liam, like our generation was like Liam served his country, in the Navy.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
There you go.
uh, like it's just gotten like right after us. It's just like you said, participation trophies. Everybody's
Like dropped
soft.
off hard.
Yeah, like super quick, and it's terrifying actually, kind of to think about sometimes. Like, and then my grandpa, like, you got people of World War II lying about their age to go fight for their country, like 16, 17, willing to go die just to protect. It's a different world
It's
now.
it's
Well, I
different,
think it's
man.
values. I think the
Yeah,
values have changed.
Well, people don't believe in nothing because people have been let down too at the same time. But
Well,
like,
no, I get that. And that's the beauty of what America was supposed to be, is that if we don't like what we have in
you can,
place, we
well,
have the power to change it
that's what a
with
lot of
vote.
these fucking idiot kids don't fucking realize. That they say I fucking hate America, and I'm like, guess what? You live in a fucking country that you can say that, you dumb motherfucker. Like,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
like,
so stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I mean, yeah, or don't. That's what America. I'm not saying you
exactly.
should,
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, yeah,
you have
yeah. I
the
get you.
freedom to do that shit. But it's crazy though. Like like you saw, like let's say like what happened in Israel. I'm not gonna say what's whatever coin I'm on. It doesn't matter. But you have this conflict with the Palestinians and Israel, and you had some Israelis get taken as hostage. And like fuck, dude, who's to say that that shit can't happen right on our fucking borders? Like you have San Diego, probably not Texas. Those motherfuckers are packed. No one's gonna fucking try some crazy shit in Texas. But
Yeah, it's
like
with Texas.
Arizona, like there's a lot of these fucking people today. They just fucking lay down. They wouldn't even fucking fight.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. Well, and I think people aren't willing to fight is because of like demoralization.
They've never had to either.
Exactly.
They've
They've
never
had
had
nothing to.
to.
No, and that's true, and that's probably why there's not anything to value, or there's nothing to value, because we haven't had to fight for it. We've already had, like, if you like, the way that I see it is like we are living in the peak of humanity, of everything that our ancestors have strived for. We have the age of information. Like, if I want something, I can literally hop on this and look up and get information. Like right now we're talking, and yet we're at a distance.
That's
Everything.
crazy, bro. It's good actually in a lot of ways, but bad in others.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. Like, it brings us together, but I think that people forget that, like, while we have that closeness through the internet, like reality, like real reality exists. And I think a lot of people have forgotten that, and people just kind of like tune out and come online, where we have narratives and agendas and all these other things just kind of like there, and it's open and free. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I kind of went on a tangent there. I don't know if I.
like, I agree. It's been if you have it, every empire gets too fat and falls.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that shit happens. But I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. Like, I do care about this.
Well, I mean, you cared enough to fucking serve. You know what I'm saying? So you obviously
Yeah.
care. You
Oh
actually
yeah.
cared
Well,
enough to fucking enlist and fucking and put yourself in a position that you might have to fucking protect some motherfuckers. So
we
like,
actually did.
obviously,
So if you want, I'll tell a naval story. So there was one time where we were off the coast of Somalia.
holy
Um,
shit.
yeah. So we actually had a refueling ship called the Golden Nori, that they had pirates come on board with RPGs and shit, and they took everyone there hostage. And so, one of as my job as a bosun mate, which was just basically working on the deck with like the anchor and the small boats, we would have to stand lookout. So I'm out there with my flak jacket on and flak helmet, like right outside RPG range, just making sure shit doesn't pop off, because they're trying to like negotiate like terms and things like that for the refueler to come back. Like, shit's wild, dude. Like, seeing shit like that, where that kind of stuff is running rampant, really makes you appreciate, like, at least
America.
what we have here. Because
Right.
it's like, you can say, oh well, this sucks here. It's like, nothing's fucking perfect, but the fact that you're able to vocally dissent against a government or political power, I think that is a huge thing. And I don't think people really realize that, because they're so caught on with like, they're like, oh well, it's like that, it was like this in the past. And it's like, well, look at fucking now.
Yeah.
Like, things like, you're bringing stuff up that while it was terrible, it helped shape this country, and we have what we have. You know what I mean? Like, there's still shitty stuff going
I
on. Like, I'm not
I
saying.
agree. I love my life. It's pretty fucking good at the end of the day. It's like third world problems, man.
Yeah. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like, the fact that we are here, that you have running water, you can shit in a toilet and go to your fridge, and not have to go do shitty
Right.
stuff, or go you go kill or
I
anything
could
like
go
that.
fucking smoke some good weed, drink some good beers, talk to you fucking guys, go wrestle, go do jujitsu, go fucking watch a fucking movie, go to the fucking gym. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
dude.
Like, it's pretty good, I think. Oh, I
No,
bitch about shit, but it's pretty fucking good.
no, I agree. Like and I think that's what people need to remember is that life is good and life is what you make it. And um,
And we like women's wrestling.
yes,
Yes.
I love
And
women's wrestling.
That's going to be the tagline of the episode is how Liam hates women wrestling.
Oh
Well,
my
fucking
god.
shit, brothers. Like I got Miss MF home, and I'm gonna have to go
For
perform
sure.
and lay down some pipe in a minute. So like,
Yes,
I gotta
sir.
Dinner first.
I
Right?
gotta eat some. I gotta go eat some egg whites to get my strength, so I can lay it down.
For
Time.
sure.
It's time. It's time to go to Space Mountain.
Come over, let's eat dinner, and then fucking I stay here for an hour listening to him talk. Story of my fucking life.
Sorry, Michael.
Fuck.
Do you want to be
You know
on,
how hard it
Michael?
is to put this motherfucker in check.
Michael will love to be on. He loves any attention that he can get.
It's true.
He's been riding my coattail for a long time.
Without me, you're a nobody.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time. And
Yeah.
it's been fun talking to you.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
man.
you so
Yeah,
much.
dude. Keep doing your thing. I look forward to seeing you guys. At the next show. But like, keep it up, man. We need you.
No, I
Keep
appreciate
For
it.
putting
sure.
me
We need
over.
you too.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we need you. Our relationship is symbiotic.
Right. So we'll hook that up next.
Hell
Sounds
yeah.
good.
Putting me over.
All right, guys.
All right.
right.
Take it easy,
See you
Matt.
soon.
All right.
Later.
You guys
See you
have
later,
a good
Michael.
one. Thank you guys so much.
Later.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was our episode of Turnbuckle Tapes with Matt Big MF Freeman from the 209 Kliq. That was
Yeah.
that was a banger of an episode.
Yeah. I had a good time.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys for listening. I know that this one's definitely a lot longer than you're used to or that we're used to, but honestly, like the conversations with him were just so good and a lot of insight and good stories, I think.
Yeah. It was nice to learn a little bit, a little behind the curtain, of pro wrestling, and just learning about, we go to the shows and we've seen them all the time, and then actually getting to know him and stuff. It was real fun. I had a great time.
Yeah, I had a great time too. Definitely look forward to doing this. And but yeah, thank you again, guys, so much for listening and being a part of this journey with us. Like it has been an absolute blast, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I love women's wrestling. You guys have a great night.
I too love women's wrestling. See you guys.
He doesn't.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, I'm gonna get so much fucking. I'm sure. You know what? I'm sure this is gonna come bite me in the ass one of these days.
Yeah. Next time you go see, yeah, it probably will.
Yeah, I'm gonna get clotheslined, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, how's that for fucking holding back?"
Liam's got canceled.
All right, guys. Till next time. I'm Liam, and this is my tag team partner,
Kyle.
Catch you on the
I
flop,
love you guys.
Yeah, we love you guys. Thank you.